Welcome. We are at the Tree of Life in Salmonier River Valley, St. Mary's Bay, Newfoundland. This place grew out of a vision of providing a retreat space in nature, catering to people who are on a spiritual journey or exploring their spiritual nature, trying to deepen with spiritual practices such as yoga, meditation, spiritual philosophy. Many teachers and indigenous leaders are really, saying, what we really need most is for people to have more contact in nature, a relationship with nature, and that building out of that relationship comes a better respect for nature and for ultimately the conservation of the natural world. Nature is the biggest mystery there is. We've kind of lost the sacredness of nature in our culture. And so by bringing ourselves back and immersing ourselves in nature, we reestablish that contact and we surrender ourselves more into the mystery. The Tree of Life itself owns 5 acres of land. We're set back about 500 meters away from the main road. We really don't have any close neighbors, and so it's very much immersed in nature. The river and the experience of the river seems to be especially strong for a lot of people, and there's a lot of special little places along that river. We have like the waterfalls, and we have the hidden waterfalls, and we have the secret swimming hole, and there's an abundance of special places. But we also offer the Fog Forest Trail, which is about 3 kilometers long, that sort of goes close to the waterfalls and then loops around and eventually returns to the Tree of Life property. I mostly build and maintain all of the infrastructure of the Tree of Life. All these buildings are aspects of natural building and tiny house design that optimizes, energy efficiency while being able to provide enough space to accommodate 10 or 20 people. It's off the grid, so we have to generate our own electricity, and we heat by wood, so we have to cut our own firewood. So it's really trying to simplify life to the basics. The most empowering thing is that every bit of practice and love that people put into this property stays and accumulates. And so it's like it's a building process where there's just a feel to the place now that has come out of 20 years of operating here. That's due to all of the different participants and spiritual practices that we've undertaken. Part of my awakening that led to the construction of the main building was the discovery of sacred geometry. Sacred geometry has been an amazing realization of what nature is, because everything in nature follows some geometric form. And these forms repeat and repeat and repeat and exist right throughout nature. And so part of the focus in the Tree of Life is building, and building the structures in some form or aspect of sacred geometry. So like the main building follows the geometry of the Kabbalah, which is an ancient form that comes right out of the flower of life, and sometimes is known more as the Tree of Life, and hence the name of the project. But the Kabbalah is the most ancient spiritual teaching system that's known to humanity, and it arose at least 6,000 to 7,000 years ago, predated all of modern religion, and still exists, and is still tracked to a significant degree in Judaism. We're not sort of promoting Kabbalah as a teaching system here, but the entire building, basement, main floor, and and ceiling of the main building is a geometric replica of the Kabbalah. And so all the posts represent stations of the Kabbalah, and the beams represent paths of the Kabbalah. And we're currently building an artist-in-residence studio. And the artist-in-residence studio is an aspect of eight-sided sacred geometry and follows a pattern known as the breath of the compassionate, which is a very significant geometric form in Islamic faith. We could say that these structures, once they're built and when one is inside of them, have an aspect of geometric symmetry and form that leads to a very pleasing experience to the individual that's in them. So like a retreat inside of a Kabbalah is a more powerful experience than a retreat outside. So these forms generate aspects of perfection that exist in the universe. And so at the Tree of Life, I continue to deepen on the whole aspect of sacred geometry.